Hola traders. Hola traders. Hi. Hello everyone. I'm Hola traders. Let me
Hola
see.
traders.
All right,
Hi.
I put my own sound down. Hola traders.
Hello everyone. I'm Hola traders.
Let's see what's going on here.
Hola traders. All right, I put my own sound down. Hola traders. Hello everyone. I'm Hola traders.
Let's see what's going on here.
Hola traders.
Okay. Hola traders, I'm Kathy, your host for this evening, and I want to start with something honest. Can you hear me, Tech? How's that sound? Hola traders, I'm Kathy, your host for this evening, and I want to start with something honest. Can you hear me, Tech? How's that sound? Hola traders, I'm Kathy, your host for this evening, and I want to... All right, I think I figured it out. Hola traders, I'm your host for this evening. I want to start with something honest. I've been a trader for more than a decade, and I've watched prop firms make a lot of promises that they don't keep. But what made me genuinely want to be a part of this event is something that this industry needs. And that's what Hola Prime is sharing with the world tonight. What we're launching tonight is something nobody in this category has built. So before we begin, I want you to drop in your country flag in the chat. Tell us where you're watching from, because I want to know how diverse this room actually is. And tell me how excited you are to see all of these traders are going to be coming into this room. All right, we've got the US, India. I'm so glad that the sound is working good, because, sometimes things, take a minute to get set up. Pakistan, wonderful. What Turkey, what a great audience from the UK, Malaysia. This is incredible. We definitely have people from all corners of the world. And, it just seems like this is kind of the global fan base that, Hola Prime has, and it's quite an incredible one. All right, so let's get started. Before I go on, I've got a great panel of industry leaders and traders. I've got with me here Dan Chung, Wakir Asim, Nick Saik, Zamko, Michael Bambar. So stay tuned and let's please welcome Director of Growth, Hola Prime, to set the stage for tonight.
Lively today. Amazing to see all the different countries. We've got people from all over the globe here, which is absolutely awesome. What a turnout. But hello, can you hear me, everyone? I hope my audio is good. Yes. All right. Well, hola to all traders. But before we get into anything new tonight, I want to start with what traders have actually experienced with Hola Prime. And we've built a prop firm that traders can truly trust, and that's probably one of the most important things. And that is because we ourselves are traders. So if you've ever traded with a prop firm before, and I know many of you in the chat probably have, you know the feeling. It's all too common. You get payout stage, you hit that request button, and you kind of sit there and you wait for a few seconds and you think, will this actually go through? So instead of telling you, let me show you why traders trust us. So the first thing is $3.5 million has been paid out to traders worldwide. What an absolute awesome number. We've got over 50,000 traders worldwide currently trading with us. And like I said, and like you can see from the chat, from all over the world, they might use different strategies, but they trade with the same expectations. When they earn their payout, they get their payout. And that's into is we've been rated 4.2 on Prop Firm Match and 4.6 on Trustpilot as well. And also with Hola Prime, you get access to 10 plus great trading platforms across CFDs and futures. So we were also recently awarded the fastest payout prop firm at the UF Awards, which was really, really awesome. Great event as well. But here's one of the big things I would like to touch upon right now. And this is probably one thing that I personally have never seen happen in this industry, in the prop firm space. And this year, Deloitte, one of the big four accountancy firms, independently reviewed our whole payout process and our payouts. And here is what they found. They found that 98.35% of all payouts happened in under 1 hour. I mean, what an absolute crazy statistic, right? When we say payouts in under an hour, we truly do mean it. But even more than that, they also found 0 payout denials. So across the whole review period, every single trader who clicked that payout button got their payout, which is, again, something I think all traders around the world really, truly want. The average payout was also $4,500, a really good amount on average. And the average payout time was 33 minutes. And get this, and this is a fair play, it's an outlier, but the fastest payout we've ever processed was 36 seconds, which I still don't fully understand how we managed to pull that one off. I'm not sure if we'll ever break that record, but we sure will try. But in a nutshell, that is Hola Prime for you guys. That's all I wanted to show you for now. You know, it's all about trust. It's transparency and fairness are the pillars on which we have built Hola Prime. Because we traded that part, the prop firm should also do this. Kathy, back to you.
That the wider trading community has been a part of from the very beginning. And 5 of those voices are with us today live. These are the people who've been chosen, who've been close to Hola Prime, close to what they're launching tonight. And I'm very excited to have them with us. Joining us first is Dan. Dan, welcome. Where are you coming to us from?
Oh, what's going on? I'm in Hong Kong at the moment. Nice to meet everyone.
Thank you so much. We're so glad to have you here. Next, we have Waqar. Waqar, hello.
There we go. Yes, tuning in from London. A pleasure to be here.
You can truly have a global audience here. We also have Nick. Welcome, Nick. And we have, not only a global audience of traders, industry leaders speaking to you, but also in the room. And Zamco, I'm going to call in Zamco. Hello, Zamco, my good friend.
Hi, Kathy. It's nice to meet you again. I remember we spoke not too long ago, so it's nice to speak to you again, tuning in from London.
Yes, and I'm very excited. You're in the same space as some of the other traders. And finally, last but certainly not least, Michael Bambar, closing out the room.
Hey, how are we doing? Calling from Singapore, and I'm grateful to be here.
Wonderful. All right. So you can see we have 5 industry leaders, and I'm not going to ask the big questions yet. I know you're eager to know because we have a whole panel later. It's talking to all of these gentlemen, and I know you want to hear from them. But while we have you in the room right now, I want to ask each of you a question. I'll start with you, Dan, first. What made you say yes to being in the room tonight?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I got a really good relationship with Hola Prime, so when they asked, I couldn't say no, which is a funny one for me to think back, and I'll tell the story one day. But another big thing is like Sam said at the start, is the payout speed has been pretty particular. Even for myself, I haven't experienced it just yet, but I definitely am focusing on trading with Hola Prime coming up as well, especially with like the allocations that they have. But banned by one of the top prop firms days, you kind of need to find somewhere that's reliable, and Hola Prime is definitely one of them, which is why I'm here to show the support and love. And there's a lot of people here tonight, so what's up to everyone?
There's a lot of incredible people. Just being in this room is incredible for me too. Waqar, same question. What made you show up?
Yeah, epic to be here. And I've done a podcast with Dan, Michael, and Zamco over the years. Nick, I'm missing you, so hopefully soon we cross paths. But yeah, my whole brand, everything that I've been building for the last few years has been to empower traders, whether it's through my own channel or the podcast that we've done. And I think this is an extension of that. I think an opportunity to speak to traders that are up and coming or already finding a good level of success. I think we all sit in the same room and we can all learn from each other, share insights, and grow forward. Main reason, and then attaching myself and my reputation Hola Prime. It doesn't come casually, and I can see everything that you've been doing. The industry making an impact, us payouts with the audit third party, which is innovative or trailblazing. So it's all very exciting and cool. So yeah, from my side, very happy to be here.
Nick, what made you say yes to coming today?
Yeah, so same thing as a lot of these guys have already said. And, you know, Kathy, you and I, we've been in this, I know just your story, my story, we've been in it for a while and watched the whole industry shift more and more, it feels like, in the direction of traders wanting optionality within their trading options. So they're trading with prop firms more and more. I think Hola Prime stands out. They are doing a lot to try and be the most transparent. They have a very professional team behind the scenes, as I'm sure many of you guys are experiencing here on the panel with me. Like they're really doing the most to try and be there for the trader and create something big in the prop industry. So I think not only that, just connecting with other traders. Waqar, I would love to do a podcast episode with you. So any person, you know, that comes on here today, I think there is something to learn from every single person. And, you know, that's also why I'm here, is the networking and to celebrate kind of the prop industry taking this next step.
Well, I will be happy to connect the two of you after this this stream. Zamko, you are one of the most successful prop traders in this space. So it's really an honor to have you part of this conversation today. What made you say yes to joining us?
So for me, the prop firm space is getting really tight. The amount of prop firms out there is very, very limited recently. I've just noticed a lot of prop firms are banning people, not paying people out. And it really shocked me when I got paid in a couple of minutes. Literally, I think it was 15 minutes. I submitted my payout with Hola Prime and notification that I've been paid. I've never, ever had that happen to me, ever, from any prop firm. So I was shocked. And then that really made me think, all right, cool. These guys are trustworthy. They pay really quickly. I need to, you know, stick with these guys, try and help out as much as I can. And the team has been really supportive of me as well. Really kind team. Really nice. They've looked out for me and they've helped me out. Absolutely happy to be here because of that.
So if you're a trader that's so good that other prop firms are looking to ban you, maybe Hola Prime is the one to trade with. And then Michael Bambar, what made you say yes to joining us today?
I think for me, similar to the other guys, it's built around for the trader. You know, a lot of these props feels like they don't really have the best intentions of the traders. Whereas with Hola Prime, I'm very confident that you guys do, and you are very innovative in the space all the time in regards of figuring out the best path and roadmap for traders. So I'm on that journey with you, and I think the payout process, the audit that you guys done, is just once again pushing that boundary forward and the baseline forward for other props to follow. So very, very
Traders, you have your answers. Moving on, thank you for joining us on the screen, guys. We're going to bring you back in about 30 minutes for a longer conversation. So chat, you're not going to be missing them for long after we make our big announcement. For now, sit tight, watch what we're about to play. Something has been brewing at Hola Prime for a long time. And before I bring on the founder to talk about it, I want you to be the first piece of it. So let's roll it. Sorry about that. Okay, so hold on to those reactions. I want you all to sit with that for a few minutes. We'll come back to it because before we show you what's behind the door, which looked very good, there's somebody who's going to walk you through why all of this exists. So Mesh, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me, Kathy.
So I want to start with the firm itself. For anyone watching tonight who's hearing about Hola Prime for the first time, in your own words, what have you actually built?
Well, Hola Prime is a prop trading firm. That's the simple answer. The honest answer is that we've built the parts of a prop firm that most firms in this category underinvest in. For example, the payout infrastructure, clarity of rules, the support team, the audit trail. Every trader knows that these are the things that decide whether a prop trading firm is worth investing in or not. We chose to build the firm in that order. The unfashionable parts first, and the brand on top of that.
When you looked at the prop trading category and you decided to start Hola Prime, what was the version of it that you were looking at? And what do you think was broken about it?
I think the category had been built around user acquisition. The whole industry had become very good at the front end, challenges, funnels, the funded moment screenshots, the testimonials. And the result was a category where the experience of becoming a funded trader was world-class. And the experience of being a funded trader 6 months later was often the worst part it had ever been. So support response times got worse with scale. Payouts got slower, rules got renegotiated quietly. The relationship got harder right at the point where it should have been getting easier. That was the thing I couldn't reconcile with. A category that was selling a relationship and underinvesting in the only part of it that mattered.
So that is the diagnosis. So what did you decide from day one inside Hola Prime that had to be different, either operationally or philosophically?
A few decisions made before the first trader was ever funded. The first one, payout speed had to be a service level agreement. We committed internally to 1 hour, and we built a team and the infrastructure to defend that number before we even advertised it. The second, clarity of rules. We don't believe in fine print for rules. In fact, we keep on improving the layout to make it more clearer and cleaner. Our rules are straightforward, quickly adaptable, and they are designed in a way to ensure traders succeed and not fail. The third one, support had to be staffed against volume, not against complaints. Most firms in this space scale on their support team in response to incidents. We scale ours in advance of them. None of those decisions were visible to a trader on payout 1, but they become visible on payout 3, on payout 4, payout 5. That's when the firm you're trading with gets actually tested.
Now, most prop firms in this category build everything around the first payout, the funded moment, the "we paid you" tweet. You've talked about that internally as an ops mistake. Why?
Well, because the first payout is the easy one. Every firm in this category wants to give you the first payout. It generates testimonials. It generates referrals. But the first payout doesn't actually tell a trader anything about whether the firm will still be here or not in 6 months. It doesn't tell them whether the support inbox will go dark when they request their next payout. It doesn't tell them whether the firm survives a bad month on its own books. The fifth payout tells you all of that. The fifth payout is the one where the firm has to have credibility and trust. With Hola Prime, your chances of success increase exponentially as you keep trading with us. Our rules are very much adaptable and designed to ensure trader successes consistently instead of just having a fluke. And we do this because we are traders and we have the same minds as our traders have. And therefore, all of our rules and internal trade copiers and all the other operational processes are designed to for us to profit from when the trader is actually profiting and not from just the challenge fees.
Earlier this year, you were reviewed by Deloitte. Most prop firms in this category don't do that. And quite frankly, most probably wouldn't pass it. What was the motivation behind that?
Because at a certain point, your own dashboard and payout reports aren't enough. We could publish our payout numbers internally all day. a trader who's never met us is right to be skeptical of any number a firm produces about itself. The only way to fix that asymmetry is to bring in someone who has nothing to gain from the result. Deloitte had nothing to gain. We gave them 5 months. We gave them every transaction, not a sample. And the result is out there. 98.35% payouts within 1 hour. 0 denials. That's not us telling you we are trustworthy. That's a Big Four firm with a signature on it telling you the truth.
Which brings us to tonight, what you're launching. For traders, can you walk us up to it? What was the conversation? What led to the launch?
It started with a number we kept noticing. There's a small cohort of traders at Hola Prime who have kept on consistently performing beyond the 4th payout. It's the same firm, it's the same rules. And every time we looked at that group, we realized 2 things. First, these were the traders who had built a relationship with the firm. The second, that the industry lacks the foundation to acknowledge those kind of relationships. There was no recognition. There's no acknowledgement anywhere in this category that getting to a 5th payout with the same prop firm was a meaningful event. We had a group of traders in the industry we had never named. So we decided to name it, and we decided to build something that matched their grind. That's the conversation that turned into tonight.
Why 5 specifically? Why not 3? Why not 10?
3 is a coincidence. A trader can hit 3 payouts at almost any firm. The firm has just to survive a quarter. 10 is really a career. Most relationships in the industry don't last that long on either side. 5 is a threshold where we see statistically a trader stops doubting the firm and starts trusting it. It's the number where a relationship becomes real. It's also the smallest honest number we could pick. Anything lower, and we'd be calling something a milestone that isn't one. 5 is where a firm has to have actually delivered month after month with nothing changing. So that's the bar.
Last question before we move on. For the traders tuned in tonight, what do you want them to take away from the fact that you, as the founder of this firm, is sitting in that chair tonight talking about their 5th payout?
I want them to take a structural fact. A firm that rewards you immensely on your 5th payout is a firm that has decided that as a business, to be measured consistently against your grit, grind, and your strategies. That's the entire signal. Everything else tonight is downstream of that one decision.
That was quite insightful. Somesh, thank you very much.
Thank you, Kathy.
All right, you've heard from the man himself. You caught a glimpse of what we're about to unveil. Now, I want you to sit forward because we're about to give you a second glimpse before the big reveal. Okay, everyone. I think we're going to play a teaser video and a countdown for this. Is that correct? Let's see if production has it here. So thank you so much. You've heard from the man himself, and you got a glimpse of what we're about to unveil now. Now what I want you to do is sit forward because we're about to give you a second glimpse about the big reveal. So let's go ahead and get into it. Wow, isn't that incredible? Welcome everyone to the Prime Circle, the inner circle for traders. What you have just seen is definitely industry leading. I have not seen any other prop firm offer something like this, and I'm very, very excited about it. Now, the Prime Circle, as of this moment, actually exists. There are traders who are in it already, who you'll be meeting later. But before we do anything else, we've got Sam back again with us to walk us through the Prime Circle, why it should matter to you, what you get, how you get in, and what's inside. So Sam, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thanks again, Kathy. And I'm so delighted to look at the chat here. The chat is absolutely blowing up. You guys are doing such a good job. Honestly, amazing. Again, keep showing the love, keep hitting that like button, all that good stuff. We've got people at Hola Prime looking at the chat. We are hearing your suggestions and everything. So keep up the good energy. But I'm going to do this part in 3 parts, actually. First, what the Prime Circle actually is and why the entry is what it is. Second, there's going to be a surprise. And third, what's actually inside. So let's start with the road to Prime Circle. So every trade at Prime Circle obviously started at the same place, right? So watching somebody else's stream, wondering if any of this was actually real for them. Can they actually achieve it? First, they get their first payout. Doubt kind of turns into belief a bit because now it's something you've heard, but it's something you've actually experienced. And then you get the second payout and belief turns into trust. You're now starting to see a bit of consistency. It starts feeling like you can actually repeat this over and over again. With the third payout, you start catching a rhythm. I think it's fair to say most traders, the process becomes part of your kind of routine. With the fourth, that rhythm turns into discipline. It's now becoming that you're not anymore chasing moments and you start actually respecting the system. And with the fifth payout, discipline really does turn into recognition. It becomes proof that you showed up every single day, proof that you stayed consistent, and proof that you earned your place inside the Prime Circle. So 5 payouts with Hola Prime, 0 denials, 1 hour payouts. That's a rare event. And that's why we want to celebrate it with you. And here's the part I want to be clear about. There is no way you can buy yourself into the Prime Circle. There's no application, there's no referral code, there's no fee. The entry is 5 payouts with Hola Prime, and then you're part of this very exclusive membership. Okay, so when you reach the 5th payout, you become eligible for exclusive trader benefits, and these benefits start with your capital ceiling goes up, right? So the standard maximum allocation at Hola Prime is $500,000. For Prime Circle members, we've bumped that way up to $2 million. So 4 times the standard allocation. Second, you get the Hola Prime Black Card. Your key to basically entering the Prime Circle. If you're inside, this is yours. If you're not, this is basically what you're working towards, okay? Third, 20% off every Hola Prime challenge and direct accounts, okay? And that's valid for 6 months from your 5th payout. Fourth, you get 2 free account resets usable within 6 months. I think that is absolutely fantastic. We haven't really seen this in the space being done before. So, and I'm sure I can already see in the chat, people are loving the 2 free account resets. So definitely hit the nail on the head with that one. And 5th, free platform change at the funded stage. So if you decide that the current platform you're using isn't the right one for you, or it's you've changed your strategy or whatever it might be, you can switch without losing your capital and without restarting the whole clock. 6th, the Wall of Fame. Now, you will have your name up on the leaderboard. It's public, it's permanent, and some of the traders who've joined us tonight will be having their names go up on that wall in this stream. So stay tuned for that. And here's the kicker. Every time you hit another payout, guys, your 6th, your 7th, your 8th, whatever it might be, your benefits clock resets and extends from that date, which means the longer you trade with us, the more this club returns to you. Okay, and that is essentially what Prime Circle is. Sure. So we just want to going to move on to the next segment in a second, but I'll read that blow up. Go ahead, tell us what you think, and also suggestions. Like we said, we're open, we're launching this exclusive membership. If you have suggestions as well, drop them in the chat. We love to hear from the community. We want to actually make this membership absolutely tailored for our top of the top traders. And 5 payouts might seem like a big ask at first, but believe me, guys, if you stay disciplined, there's people who've done it. There's many people who've done it. If you stay disciplined, if you really work, towards your goal, you really stick to your trading plan, and you take your time with it. You don't try to rush the process. You will get there. You will absolutely get there. And we're going to be hearing from Prime Circle members a little later in this stream, and they'll be giving you, a bit of their backstory, how they managed to achieve where they are, because 5 payouts is a fantastic achievement with any prop firm. People who can hit that number, and you'll be seeing the kind of payouts they've gotten. It really is life-changing amounts of money, and you can be part of that if you stay focused, stay disciplined, and really work towards that goal. So back end, are we ready for the next segment? Let's see in the chat. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next segment. I'm going to hand it back over to Kathy. Kathy, to you.
And absolutely right that the chat is blowing up with how everyone is so excited about this new kind of recognition for good traders and Prime Circle traders. And once you reach those payouts, you get so many benefits. And I think this is going to be industry leading. Now, I want to welcome back all of you, all of our traders that many of you know. I want to ask the traders, how does it feel to be a part of one of the most elite clubs in prop trading? You've heard it from Sam. We all now want the black card. Heard it from Mesh. I want to start with a few questions. And the first one is, what would you change for a trader psychologically if they knew their consistency was being officially recognized, not just by their account balance, but by the firm itself. Dan, let's start with you.
All right, so this is a favorite one because, as someone may or may not know, he got banned by one of the top firms because of the consistency and getting paid out. But I think that one of the biggest things you would have once you kind of trade in this and you understand there's like no ceiling, take it so much seriously, and you have so much better of a future vision of actually keeping the longevity of the account, not only the future longevity of the account as well, the scalability, just having it of that portfolio. And the biggest thing of all is kind of that peace of mind in trading with a prop firm, and knowing that, look, I'm not actually going to get banned for doing well and actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which is sometimes is the case, right? It seems so ironic to say out loud, quite well, and having that resets the reason that's this on top. But
All right, I think we're going to need someone to help. Welcome back, Dan. Okay, I think Dan's having some technical issues. Maybe Michael, share your thoughts. Besides being recognized and consistent is important.
Yeah, for sure. I think just to build off the fact what Dan was talking about with the peace of mind, I think that's really important because it changes the way the trader thinks. If you're being denied payouts or you're uncertain about the firm, you're trading from fight or flight. You're uneasy, you're not really sure whether the firm's going to pay out. It changes your state, which changes your results. Whereas you should be executing out of a calm and collected state, out of easiness that the firm's going to be there. So I think that's the biggest thing here, is that people can have the trust that there's no denied payouts. There hasn't been for 5 months. And I think that's a very good stat for a prop firm in this space, in this day and age. And it means that confidence is brought back. Traders can then focus on the process to the payout once again, which is ultimately the game.
Dan, I cut you off. You cut yourself off, but we do want to hear from you and continue. Well, he seems like he's having technical difficulties. No big deal, but look who we have here. Waqar, I have a question for you. Hopefully your sound is good. Give me a thumb.
You can hear me.
Fantastic. So, 5 payouts with a prop firm. In your experience, what kind of person does that? What separates them from a person who gets one and a person who blows it up?
Yeah, it's a combination of things. I'll try and keep it brief, but I think I'm in a unique position because I've spoken to very successful traders all over the world, from hedge fund managers, quant traders, to a lot of the panelists we have here. And I think it's a mix of a few things, but I think the answer I want to lean upon today is understanding what you're aiming for, because I think the fine line between a gambler and a trader is a very fine line. So it's to understand what is the difference between a gambler and a trader. And usually when I ask that question, most people don't have an answer. So just shed some light on it, because a gambler can have a plan, can have ideas. I'm going to only, on the roulette, I'm going to pick the birth loved ones. So having a plan and a strategy is any different than being a gambler. So I think the only difference is therefore understanding you got to pick the casino, which means the house always wins, means you have to have an edge. You have something in your favor. And also understanding the prop firm maths. I think a lot of people just end up playing prop firms like a roulette wheel. They just keep buying and resetting and buying and resetting and not approaching it correctly. So understanding the economic side alongside the trading side, I think both combined helps people to reach a level of consistency.
I think this is a very important comment that you make, because the thing is that in order to get these benefits from Hola Prime as part of the Prime Circle, consistency is really key. So Dan, you're back with us. And so I want to give you the opportunity to talk about what you were sharing. Okay, let's see if Dan can come back to us. All right. That's fine. We'll keep trying. We'll keep trying to see if he can come back. But Nick, I have a question for you. We're celebrating the consistency. We're celebrating the 5th payout. How meaningful do you think this milestone is? And is consistent profitability actually achievable for most retail trader experience? You guys hear from Nick?
That I was just saying, live streaming is hard at times, made evident by my mic being muted. So we are working on it. We'll get it back as soon as we can. But yes, to answer your question, getting to 5 payouts, I like what Carr said. At some point, consistency is not just about having a good psychology in your trading. It is about truly having some kind of an edge. Like it is very difficult, let's face it, to get to 5 payouts. And that is worth celebrating. That is why, rewarding or offering extra perks and attracting that type of trader is very cool. It's a very big milestone to get to that point, given that most traders, the stats are out there, we know this, most traders never reach near that point. If you get there, it's incredibly impressive. And how do you get there? Well, when you have people on this panel sharing what they have learned from various interviews, their own hardships, and become a trader themselves, you will find is that it is a lot of blood tears that goes into it. It is for sure figuring out your trading psychology and making sure that you have a system that resonates well with your internal dialogue and all that stuff. But even once you dial that back, if you have good risk management, you have trading discipline, all that good stuff, but you don't have an edge, you'll just lose money really slowly. Whereas if you actually have something that is consistent, something that is getting you to the point to get to a 5th payout, it is rooted in having some kind of an edge. Something in your trading is working well, and that is worth celebrating. I totally believe that it is possible for retail traders, in my opinion, now more than ever, to reach a state of profitability. The game has totally been kind of leveled in regards to 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It's like traders did not have tools like they do today, and options they have today with things like prop firms and various tools and charting softwares. And there's so much available to the average trader that I think at this point, there's not that much difference between institutional traders and very intelligent, diligent retail traders, other than simply having the capital basis. And so that problem being solved through prop firms for very consistently profitable traders is a very cool thing.
So yeah, you make so many good points. And I think, no one is really the king of payouts more than Zamco. And, Zamco, I think the chat and the audience would really like to hear from you. What does it take for someone like you to get the number of payouts that you've gotten? I mean, first off, how many I know it's well above 5 and 6. How many payouts have you gotten?
In terms of the number of payouts, I think over 110, something like that, and it totals to almost $1.5 million now. Yeah, I think it's over like 110 payouts.
So that's, incredible. What do you think it takes, and from your own experience, for someone to get near that consistency, as well as the number of payouts it takes to get to prime circle, and also to your level of success?
I believe it's just like Wakara and Nick mentioned, it's really just having an edge. So it's like, it is kind of like a roulette table, but you have an edge. You're going to keep buying accounts, trying to get payouts. But if you have a strategy that has an edge, over time, it just leans towards you getting more payouts than the amount you're spending on purchasing accounts, which keeps you in net profit. That's kind of all it really is. It's just having that slight edge. It doesn't even have to be that much. Like you can have a 20% win rate, but on average, if your risk to reward is 1 to 6, you're still winning. And it's just understanding very basic concepts like that. The most easiest one is having a 1 to 2 risk to reward and having a 50% win rate. Now, if you think about it, it either goes up or down, right? And if the times that it goes correctly to your direct, and you can twice what you lose, you have a 1 to 2 risk to reward. Even if you win only half the time, you're still insanely profitable. So when you apply that to prop firms, getting lots of funding, you can get a lot of payouts with just having a slight edge in your system. That's all it is. And I think that's, and on top of that is detaching from the numerical values in like, when you purchase an account, a lot of people are scared to lose the money, lose the account. But if you just detach from that and understand it's all a numbers game, it's all just maths. Just keep on playing edge again and again, and eventually it works out in your favor because the maths make sense. I think that's all it is. It's just understanding the maths, detaching from the accounts, not being emotionally invested in the money, and just letting it play out.
I think that this new math is something that a lot of new traders are just starting to really understand and learn, which is they buy a challenge and they just want to focus on that one challenge and pass it. But I think what you're telling us is that don't focus on that one challenge. Sometimes it may take a few in order for you to get that one funded. And once it's funded, then it's a different type of math. Is that right?
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. You can blow, let's say, 5 accounts, and on the 6th one you get funded and you actually get a payout. That one payout can make back all of your costs for those 5 that you lost, payout. And then once you've already done that, anything after that is pure profit. So that's all it really is just get to the funded stage and get a payout, and from there it's quite easy.
Dan, would you agree that that's true for you as well?
Yeah, I'm not sure if this voice is going to connect, so let me know if it cuts out. But yeah, absolutely. And I was just picking on from that as well. One of the biggest things is when you have that consistency, you have a much longer vision as well. And with that longer vision of your trading, you're going to take it so much more seriously. You're going to compound it, and you're also going to have an outcome of just trying to scale your own trading and actually focus on improving your trading. It's about worrying if they're going to ban you or not, which is obviously that peace of mind, which is what I was saying. But absolutely. It's wicked though. It's a wicked product. Congrats to everyone who's got it.
Absolutely. I think that, the new math is something very unique and a really incredible tip. It takes you guys to think about it, to think about what it really means, but it's focusing on, focusing on not just your one challenge, but also just getting funded and not thinking about just focusing on one and make you're different. Now, finally, Michael, one thing that problems usually get wrong in your opinion? I mean, is there something that traders value most from that most prop firms are not paying attention to?
Yeah, I mentioned this point before, so I'll bring it up briefly and then give it a twist. But I think I'm surely I speak on behalf of every trader in here. It's the trust. It's really the trust, because as you trade, you need to be in a calm and collected state to do any form of mastery in the charts and trust that skill set to do well, right? But the problem is people don't know if they're going to be denied payouts, if it's going to be a long-term thing for them. There's no scalability. So I think what you guys are doing are great, and it allows people to tap into that peak performance that I often talk about and do well long-term. Hats off to you guys.
Well, what do you think it really takes a longer term? As you a trader as well, we see your trading results on your stream. What do you think is the key to success?
Oh, good question. Put me on the spot here. I'll bounce off Sam's point. I think traders have learned with payouts not to actuate with it, but it's hard to do that before you actually physically get the payout. So I urge traders to play around with the numbers of, okay, well, if I get a $5 payout, what I'm going to do with money, but that sometimes needs to come in play before the payout even becomes it. But I think people taste that payout, they set such a high standard for themselves. And then even if they say lose the accounts, I'm curious how quickly they're going to bounce that previous level because the standards become higher. So I think it's persistence. And I think once you get to a point, taste the payouts, it's just a cumulative cycle into higher and higher realms.
So I have to ask this: is it truly a cumulative cycle, higher arms, or do people? And this, Zamco, Dan, you can answer this. Your first payouts, there's an immense amount of excitement and exuberance. Do you think some traders being different, wrong way? Or think this is the beginning of the cycle of consistency, or there's too much in the beginning?
You want to go first? I'm ready to go.
You go.
Oh, I appreciate it, Robert. I think the first thing is, I don't know which most people take it, but I think that what I would highlight on the first payout is if you can do one, you can do it again. Whether it was luck or whether there was a lot to it, there was some sort of formula to something that you were able to consistently do to pass phase 1, phase 2, or whatever the challenge phase may be, to get your first payout. And if you can find those nuggets that you've did, from there, all it is literally, I guess the name of the game of this prime circle is consistency. So if you're able to scale that consistency, then over time, you'll be able to get more and more payouts as an overall. That's my thoughts anyway. Go on, Zamco.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. It's that factor of if you've done it once, you can do it again. And that again, I failed for 6 years straight until I got my first ever payout. And since that first payout, it's been consistent payouts, one on top of. And that happens because it just made it real to me that, oh, I've done it once. Clearly, I must have done something correct. Yeah, like you said, phase one, and get a payout. So I just need to repeat what I just did to get out. And that's basically it. It's like, you've done it once, you can do it again. And a lot of people, they actually, when they do get their first payout, they do tend to go in the direction, which is, oh, let's buy something stupid. It's like, no, think of it as a business. You've just got this money now. What I did was reinvest it straight to buying more accounts, and then use the payouts from that to buy more accounts. That's all I pretty much do. It's using the money and then reinvesting it back into the business again and again. And losing accounts is just part of the business cost. That's how I see it, and that's the way I go about it. But yeah, definitely that first payout, if you do it correctly, changes everything.
Very good point. I mean, Nick, do you think that traders really should approach trading like a business, and really, reinvest their payout, especially in the beginning before it becomes a very meaningful amount? I think Nick might be muted.
Sorry, fixed. Yeah, so basically, yes, I totally agree with that. Like, in terms of treating it like a business, everyone's heard that from the first week of trying to learn how to trade online. Like, give it the business mentality, but actually doing it is different, right? Like, you can say that, but then like actually just being able to treat those as expenses, I think is something that is learned. Like, most people have never, tried to go out and start a business, and trading is really similar. As I know a lot of the guys here on the stream, yourself included, Kathy, like, having run some kind of business, there are a lot of crossovers to trading and businesses, right? Like, income is inconsistent. You have higher expenses than expected or something like that. Like, curveballs that come your way. And so learn to build that muscle, the inconsistency that is just the way of trading is totally important. It's a huge skill that takes time to develop, and it's say like, oh yeah, just wipe those accounts off your mind, like it's no big deal. But that is the truth, but it takes time to like kind of get to that point. And with the experience shared on the panel here, you can kind of see like that is something towards. You get used to like, okay, you're going to have some accounts that go to that blow up, and then you're going to have one that pay off the losses, and equate it to like running successful. Like, if you're running a shop, physical inventory, there's expenses, then customers come in, and there's a profit hopefully waiting on the side, but you don't know exactly when that's going to happen.
All right, I'm going to ask Waqar the last question. You some of the best traders, legendary investors in the world. What do you think it takes from their perspective to become a consistently successful trader?
So I think, contrary to popular belief, which everybody is searching for some sort of holy grail, and even myself, I felt like there was a very specific, narrow way to trade when I first started the show. And to speak to 50 traders with all kinds of givers, I realized there's a million ways to make $1 million in the markets. And there is no common thread really in strategy amongst all of these traders, but there is a unifying factor or common denominator, and that's always going to be the simple things that you all know. It's consistency in the process orientated over outcome orientated, working in your mind and psychology, and then giving it time. No guest that I've spoken to has been finding a level of financial success in the markets on their first 6 months or in their first year. Every single one of them was multiple years, and then multiple decades, and then even some of them 50 years and beyond. So it's a long game. And I think the dichotomy a lot of traders find themselves in, attracted to the industry through social media, and they are naturally pulled in through lifestyle and fancy watches and fancy cars and so forth. And therefore that becomes the delta, the difference between your reality and what you could make in the markets. And that's where hopes and dreams are sold. And you can achieve all of these things for sure, but it's never get rich quick. It's always get rich. And that is probably the most important thing to remember, because that is to a detriment in the long run. They are just chasing the next aggressively without really a plan, and they very easily trickle into the gambling section when the pros are doing things completely differently.
All of that is incredible, and this segment went so quickly. Everything we've witnessed so far tonight, none of it would exist without our traders. So I'll step this for a few minutes and let our industry leaders take over the room, because the traders we're about to meet aren't strangers to them. These are the names they've been watching in the community for months, some even longer. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to our traders.
Okay, so we're going to be introducing a few Prime Circle members. We're going to do a little quick Q&A. So we're going to kick it off with, I think, Dan and our trader Melvin. So this panel's been absolutely gold. You know, we've heard about what Prime Circle is. We've heard from our founder and CEO Samesh. We've heard from the five of you. None of this, Prime Circle, the wall, the black card, any of it exists without the traders that actually earn their way into Prime Circle. So let's get the first trader up. So we're gonna have. So here there's a slight connection issue on Dan's end, but while we get that sorted, we're going to start with Wakar and Jeremy. So over to you guys.
Also, there we go, Jeremy. A pleasure to meet you, and congrats on your successes so far. And I'm sure there's going to be a long, successful career. But yeah, my question to you is, and I'm going to do it in typical podcast fashion, as I've been doing this for a while. I think the thing that I want to extract from yourself, and I think that most people will find value in, is understanding, okay, a lot of people maybe reach payout number 1 or get to funded, but you reach payout number 5. What do you think you do that others are not doing?
My account, see a graveyard of failed challenges on there as well. But you know, the gentleman who spoke earlier, I think he hit the nail on the head. For me, it's knowing that risk reward ratio. My winning percentage isn't high, and that may sound counterintuitive for a lot of traders out there, but I may be 30-35% winning percentage, but I'm always risking 3 to 4, 5 or 6. So if you play the numbers, let the numbers play out, you have an edge. If you let your run, I know that's kind of cliche, but letting your run and hit your targets, have your stop in place, and do that consistently over a long period of time, you're going to win. I mean, it's going to play out in your favor. So I think that's the biggest key for me. As I'm learning, I'm still progressing as a trader. I still feel challenges. I've still blown up accounts, but I am net profit because of that, because I have kind of begun to figure out keeping the numbers on your side and keeping that as my advantage. So.
Brilliant. I mean, as you said, the graveyard of blown accounts, I don't think that's anything uncommon, whether it's the traders that lose.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. It looks like Wakar's had a little bit of a connectivity issue. Certain things are unfortunately out of our control, but I'm sure he'll be back very, very soon. We're going to move on, however, to Michael and our trader Daniel. So, Michael, please, by all means, take over.
My pleasure. Daniel, welcome, mate. Congrats on the success so far, by the way. Love to have you here, and a pleasure to speak to you. So I'd ask a question, and I'm really curious to know this, is what did it look like behind the scenes for you, right? Because as we know as traders, it wasn't just, the payout, the success that you have now, it's what happened behind the scenes. What happened when nothing was really clicking, your late nights, and you're figuring out what even to do next to get in the journey. What did that look like for you? And how long did it take to be in this position now?
That's an excellent question. Firstly, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, great. Yeah, I must say I'm incredibly excited. This is an excellent question, but I must note to the CEO and the rest of Ola, I think after the 15th or 20th payout, we should have access to the Ola Prime private jet. I think that's going to really encourage a lot of traders. But in that, remaining disciplined and in your in your mentality and your emotions, I think is the biggest, or has been my biggest area of opportunity. I've only really started achieving payouts with Ola, or becoming a successful trader approximately 7 months ago after a 10-year dry run of failing, failing, and failing. So I really had to step back and exactly what you just asked. When it comes to the dry season, what am I doing? And that is exactly it. Not getting overly excited when I receive a payout, because that then shifts my psyche to. I'm sorry, there's a lot of feedback, but that then shifts my psyche to maybe over trading and blowing accounts. On the other hand, on the losing days, on the losing streaks, is understanding that this is part of the process. And right before we got on the call, I Googled, so these stats are according to Google, but only approximately 2% traders actually remain successful after 6 months of being a funded trader with most prop firms. So understanding that you got to shift your mindset, that's different from 98% of all the other traders, because for the better part of 10 years, I was part of that 98% of traders that are not successful. Hitting the charts, no matter what, whether you're or failing, always develop your edge. And back testing has been a critical part of my success, and just remaining to the true foundations of trading. I'm primarily a technical trader, so on a daily basis, practicing my technical setups on all different types of instruments, and training in different areas of the financial markets that may not, for example, Ola offers CFDs and futures, but dabbling within the into the equities and crypto space, because at the end of the day, the technical analysis remains true across all markets. So sharpening those skills have definitely been, I guess, my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, nice. I'm definitely on board with that jet idea as well. Let's definitely make that happen. But I think I like what you said with the normalizing of the payouts. That's really important, because so many people think it's like this huge thing, which to some is on the first one, but after an anticlimax almost, we normalize it, and then you just crack on with the next one. So amazing success so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the journey as well.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Daniel. That was awesome. Great stuff. And following up, we've got another trader with us today. We've got from Hola Prime, David, who has been with them for a while and received that 5 payouts, which is fantastic. I've got a little bit of a question, David, for you. It's nice to meet you, by the way. Thanks for being on, and your beard.
Likewise. Awesome. Thanks. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Happy to have you on. So question for you, because of course we've got people all around the world who would love to be sitting in the chair that you are, in the sense that you've gotten to that point where you've gotten some consistency. What would you say biggest leading reason for how you've gotten there? Like, how have you reached that milestone in simple terms? Like, what's led you there?
Yeah, so my journey from unprofitable to profitable was just building consistency in the habits, right? So when I was unprofitable, I'd be over trading, broke my rules, didn't, have a set plan, and I had this journey where I tried to learn everything. And if I just kept it really simple and I stuck to really simple rules, then I'd be okay, and I'd be okay mentally, because if it did go my way for whatever reason, which happens to everyone, then I'd be okay and just, walk away. I had to realize every session has a group of traders, right? And if that group of traders doesn't agree with your strategy that day, then that's okay. You don't need to force it. Just wait till the next day. There will be a new group of traders, and a lot of the same ones, but they might think a little differently, and it's a little bit different group of traders. So don't force it. Just walk away and and try your strategy again the next day. So yeah.
Fantastic. And just a bonus question for you, just because I'm curious, reaching these milestones is very impressive, and each person has their own kind of, I think Wakar mentioned it after meeting and speaking with so many traders, right? You realize that there's many different ways to reach that consistency and success. Do you trade one particular, instrument mostly? Are you mostly a swing trader, a day trader? What kind of trader would you categorize yourself as?
Yeah, I've tried a couple different things, couple different pairs, but what I've realized is I don't really necessarily focus on the pair very much because the characteristics of pairs fluctuate over time. So really, I'm just looking for pairs that kind of meet what I like, how I like to trade, the kind of style I like. I usually, I guess I'm intraday. I'm not really a scalper. I'm not really a swing trader. Although I will hold it if I need to, and there's no news I need to close out. So it just kind of depends, and just kind of looking. But I used to look, so many pairs, what's going on, what's happening, and now I just try and a couple, and that can fluctuate just depending on market conditions, what's going on, and good stuff. So yeah, I don't want to be too rigid, but I don't want to break a bunch of rules either that I have for myself. So.
I love that. I think there's split opinions on whether you should trade just one thing or you should trade many things. But I do like what you said there about looking specifically for a characteristic that you like in a chart, and trading the ones that are exhibiting that is huge. Like, for example, if we're thinking about end of 2025 into 2026, the precious metals had some just wild moves. There was a lot of trending nature to them during that period of time. But since, they've kind of gone quiet in the last few weeks, so that changing dynamic is really big. And so I think being adaptive, or at least having like a couple charts that you might consider trading, might be the sweet spot middle ground between trading just one thing and trading many things. So that's awesome. And David, again, congratulations on your progress, your success, and more to come, I imagine. So thanks for coming on.
Awesome. You too, Nick. Thanks so much.
Thanks, man. Okay, so up next, we got more. We're going to keep it rolling here. Next review coming up.
Okay, so guys, before we go to the next one, I just want to announce do stick around to the end of the stream, because we got something really, really special to offer you guys at the end of the stream. I promise you it's going to be worth the wait. So do stick around, because you're not going to want to miss this very, very exclusive offer. But up next, we have Dan and trader Melvin up next doing a little quick Q&A. So let's get them up on the screen.
All right, hopefully you guys can hear me now. You guys hear me? I got Melvin. What's going on, Melvin?
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Nice to meet. I'm good, brother. Nice to meet you. You got 5 pairs. How did you get out of interest quickly? You got more than 5 of you.
Definitely more than 5. It's
It looks like dinner's on you, my guy.
Yeah, it's
just a quick one. So one of the main questions I wanted to ask, obviously you're sitting up here for obviously over 5 payouts, and obviously dinner's on you. What do you reckon is the number one thing for your consistency to be able to do like that many payouts from?
I mean, I've said this times with a few interviews. It's discipline. The market not going anywhere. I'm not trying to get rich with this trading. I have a wife and kid, and I've stayed. I always like to, say stuff in sports terms. I'm just trying to get on base. I'm not getting to the plate to hit a home run every time. Give me 4 singles and I'm gonna score. So that's how I approach it.
I love that. And then this is something a bit extra. I'm assuming when you say wife and kids, that's your wife, right? Which forces you to and in a whole other level compared to someone just doing it for the numbers or the other things, right?
Yeah, 100%. Because how I see it, with me being the sole provider for my wife and 2 kids, every time if I make a trade and I made $300, that's my light bill. That's how I see it. If I make $2,000 in a week, I just pay my mortgage. You know, so everything to me, it is about the numbers for sure. But what bill is this trade going to pay for today?
Yeah, I love that. And then how's your experience been with Hola Prime so far?
Man, amazing. They family. They family for sure.
They're paying the bills and loving it so far. But I love that. I love what you said, because
Man,
the $300,
man, oh
it
yeah.
really stacks up, because 10 of those $300 is $3,000.
Man, since I've been with Hola Prime since last March.
Sorry, go
I'm
on.
over.
You wanted to say something?
Yeah, I said since I've been with Hola Prime since last March, I'm over 55, 60 grand in payouts. So I can't complain.
The dinner is definitely on you, my guy. But what you said was really, really good. Is that $300, that 2K period of time, you being able to scale up to 50K, 60K.
Yeah, those
So
little
really
little wins help.
Thanks for that. I
Yes,
really
sir.
appreciate that.
Hello, Kristen. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Yeah, doing well, doing well. So congratulations on your payouts. Honestly, getting
Great,
consistent
great.
payouts not easy.
Appreciate.
I've been on a journey, it's not so for you to do that consistently, it's really difficult. A great achievement. So I wanted to really ask, because I get this question asked me quite a lot, and it's like, how do you be disciplined? Now, my thinking is, well, you just don't do it, right? You don't see your trade setup, so you don't take it. Well, but what's the actual process of being able to control yourself? Because a lot of people struggle with self-control and self-discipline, and I don't really know how to answer them on how to be self-disciplined. And for someone who's getting consistent payouts, you must have a level of self-discipline. So what exactly is it that allows you to be self-disciplined? I know it's not easy, so I just want to hear what your thoughts are on that.
Well, I guess you gotta be responsible, because behind of trading the real life. And sorry, Zemko, I didn't really catch your entire question though, because of internet connectivity.
Oh, sorry. So in essence, it's what helps you to be self-disciplined? What helps you to be self-disciplined?
Well, I guess my experience is I've been trading programs now for 8 years, and I've been through a lot of ups and downs. I failed many times, blew up more challenges than my majority of traders have. So I gotta force myself to push that box forward in order to achieve my my trading goals, which is very personally for me.
Okay, perfect. And do you feel like those failures are necessary to be able to become a consistently profitable trader? Do you have to fail a lot for that?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's the actual reason why there's nobody out there who could basically be 100% profitable. Markets are made to humble you, so you can grow through the experience. I think the life works that way. Wherever you go, whenever you are, you know, and that's simply how it is.
Yeah, no, definitely. I completely agree with you. That's life. You have to fail. You have to learn from your mistakes, and that's how you get better. You can't just come into the world being the best at everything. So, yeah, no, I completely agree with you, honestly. But again, congratulations on your payouts, and it was nice speaking to you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, that was to see. That was awesome to see. As I mentioned earlier, guys, do stay tuned to the live stream. I'm getting a little bit of feedback in my ear back end, but yeah, do stay tuned because we do have a really exclusive offer at the end of this live stream, and I promise you guys, you're not going to want to miss this. It's probably one of the best ones we've ever done, and we're known for our great offers. So up next, though, we have more words from a bunch of Hola Prime traders who are in the Prime Circle. What an absolute... We have up next, now we only have about 30 seconds or so with each trader because we do have to go through quite a few because there's so many traders in the Prime Circle already. So up next, we have Waleed. How are you? Waleed, are you there? Waleed, good
Hello,
to see you, my
Sam. How are
friend. How
you?
are you? I'm very
Good
good,
to
my
see you,
friend. I'm
Sam.
very
How are
good.
you, buddy?
I'm
How are
very
you?
good. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I'm gonna
Thank
do
you
a
for
few...
inviting me, Sam.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome. You've earned your spot here, Waleed. I'm going to ask a few quick fire questions to all the traders. Okay, so every trader gets a different question. So, Waleed, for you, the question is: what was your first reaction when you realized that you had hit 5 payouts with Hola Prime?
Was very, very, very happy with that. It's take a many years to reach this stage right now, Sam. Many years. So I am very happy to hear that and to inviting me and join the circle in Hola Prime.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Waleed, and again, congratulations, my friend. You deserve all the success that comes towards you. But we will move on to the next trader. Thank you again, Waleed.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you.
Just about to move. Okay, up next we have... Oh, Hazik, how are you? We did an interview together. Long time. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, Sam. How are you? It's good to see you again.
I'm great. I'm great. Dude, I remember your first payout interview with us, and now you're in the Prime Circle. I knew when I first interviewed, I knew you will be one of the top traders, and I wasn't wrong because you had a crazy amount of discipline. But my question to you, Hazik, is what would you say to traders out there who are struggling and trying to get their first payout?
Wow, this is a very good question. I think, I think that's the first achievement, right, for every trader out there. I mean, when you get into like a prop firm space and they want to get their first payout, I think it's a matter of really sticking to the plan. Like, for me, what works is whatever you've done well in your challenges, like stage 1 or stage 2, don't ever get complacent when you come to like the funded stage, because that's where the real money is. Yeah, so just stick to the same plan, the original plan, whatever strategy you're using, just stick to it, and I assure you that with consistency, you'll eventually get a payout for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely, 100% agree. And I followed your journey from the start with us, and now you're here at the Prime Circle. And again, congratulations again. Sure, I got one more question for you, Hazik. What is one rule you would never break in your trading?
Well, like my personal rule or like the prop rule? I mean, for the prop rule.
No, personal risk
rule.
management rule. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really not to overtrade. That's the killer. Be it like you're in profits or in loss, whatever rule that you've set for yourself for the day, for the trade, just don't break it. Like, for example, your strategy might work on certain market conditions, right? But if let's say I think the market moves, we don't control the market, so as and when like if you go through that loss, for example, just accept it. Yeah, because there's always bound to be opportunities in the next day or the following days in the market. So is really just don't break your own rule, because you don't want to have that feeling of regret. So it sucks. Yeah. So just stick to your own rules and your trading plan.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we as human beings, we learn from pain. So unfortunately, sometimes you got to get beaten up. But Haziq, thank you so much for coming on. We'll keep in touch, my friend. But up
Thank you.
next, we have Willie. Willie, are you there with us? Willie, good to see you, my friend. How are you?
Hello, Sam.
Awesome.
Nice to meet you, Sam.
Nice to meet you too, my friend. Nice to meet you too. Willie, a question for you. What would you say helped you stay consistent after your first payout with Hola Prime?
I think I follow my own rules. I just stick on with my rules. Just make sure that I didn't break my rules.
Yeah.
Like for funded state, at funded stage, I make my rules that I didn't take stop loss more than 1% per trade.
Absolutely. No, that's a really good rule. You gotta keep that risk nice and tight, right?
Yeah.
Do you trade differently in your evaluation versus when you're funded?
No, I'm using same strategy with when the evaluation and with funded stage. The only difference is I lower the risk for the funded stage.
Absolutely, because I would say even 1% sometimes risk can, if you want to be a really consistent trader and keep that account for months and potentially years even, and really kind of almost treat it like a job where you get a salary at the end of the month. You have to keep that risk, I would say, even lower than 1%, because you can go through bad periods and the markets can be unpredictable. So it's good to always keep that risk nice and tight.
Yeah. I just need to accept that the risk. I also I already set the risk, and I must accept the risk if the market go with the opposite direction with my trade. Just accept the risk.
Absolutely.
The risk. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Absolutely. Willie, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Back end, do
Sam.
we have the next trader up and ready? Sure. So we got the next trader about to come in. Willie, I'm going to keep you on for a couple of seconds longer.
Okay.
Willie, whereabouts in the world are you from?
Sorry?
Whereabouts in the world are you from? Where are you
I'm
tuning
from
in from?
Indonesia. Yeah.
Malaysia.
Indonesia.
Amazing.
Indonesia.
Amazing. I've always wanted to visit Malaysia. So if I'm ever there, I'll give you a call. Oh, Indonesia, you said. Indonesia.
Yeah.
Also, I've wanted to visit Indonesia. So if I'm ever in that area, I will be sure to hit you up. And
sure.
Yeah, maybe you can show me around.
You must go to Bali, Sam.
Of course. I mean, Bali is definitely on the bucket list, right up there.
Yeah.
That's maybe when I retire, I'll retire in Bali on the beach. With a nice drink in my hand and the laptop trading still. So who knows?
Perfect. That's perfect.
Okay. Back end, are we ready for the next trader? Let me know. Do apologize, guys. We're almost there. We've got another few seconds to wait for the next trader to come in. Sometimes there are slight connectivity issues. But Willie, I got to ask, since you live in such a tropical, beautiful place, is the dream of, trading on a beach? Do you do that?
No. I'm at Jakarta, at Indonesia capital.
Right. Okay, so you don't. Okay. Well, because you always see it online, the idea of being on the beach with a laptop trading. Yeah. Sorry, I just had. Sure. Okay. So thank you, Willie. Thank you. We got the next trader up, Jeremy. How you doing, my friend? The man himself, the big earner. Jeremy here, for the viewers who don't know, Jeremy is an absolute beast in these markets. I mean, I'm convinced you have a time machine, Jeremy. I'm convinced you have a time machine. Oh, I think you're muted, my friend.
There we go. You got me?
Yes, I can hear
Yeah.
you.
No, if I had a time machine, I would own that jet that you guys are flying around. So I do not have a time machine.
Well, you have something, because I don't think I've it's not very often you come across a trader like yourself, man. I know this is probably hard to kind of answer, but for the people watching, what is your secret? Is there a secret?
I think just sticking with it. You know, it's hard to put into words what time screen or spending time and watching charts does, and I've done that for years. So you kind of begin to see the patterns play out over and over and over, and then once you understand those patterns, obviously they don't always work the way that you think they're going to work, and that's part of the game. But keeping the number, like I mentioned earlier, keeping the numbers in your favor, making sure that your reward is always 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, whatever it is, higher than your risk, and you do that consistently, the numbers are going to work out in your favor. And so it's not, I don't have a whole lot of indicators on my charts, support and resistance, a few moving averages. I try to make most of my decisions off the daily charts, and then pinpoint my entries on a smaller time frame, and go from there, and then try not to tinker with the trade. Let it play out. That's when I get myself in trouble. If I get bored or I'm sitting there watching nonstop all day the 5-minute charts, I start tinkering with it, and I start exiting trades on a down red candle or from a short an up green candle. And so trying to take my hands off the keyboards, let it play out, and it'll work out. But sticking with it, it's not an easy journey, but it is a journey.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And what blows my mind about you is, it's like you said, you don't have much on your charts. It's such a simple chart. You have such a simple way of looking at the market. It's like you said, a few moving averages, and that's pretty much it. And then it's just pure discipline, like just pure raw discipline, And I think I don't know, like most people always think trading has to be complicated. You got to have some crazy edge, but then here comes you, and you just blow everyone out the water with the most simplistic way of looking at the market, and you're smashing it with such consistency, man.
I think that, and like everybody, at one time I had every single indicator on my chart, and what I have found for me, and you got to find what works for you. For me, it just caused me to make too many decisions. I mean, there's too many triggers, and so every little moving average, I was back and forth, and you get in a sideways market, you get chopped up pretty fast, and like I mentioned earlier, you leave a trail of failed evaluations. And so trying to simplify it and having some clean charts, like I use on the intraday charts, I got the VWAP and a couple of moving averages, and that's it, and same on the daily. And those are really the only two. I know some people use an hourly chart, some have a 4-hour chart, and it's fine if that works. For me, I just use the daily and 5 minutes and stick to it. I don't think that's
absolutely. Well, Jeremy, thank you again for coming on.
Sure.
Up next, we have Aaron. Aaron, are you with me? Aaron Evans, how are you, my friend? Sorry, Evans, even. I heard Aaron in my ear. I do apologize. How are you, my friend? Evan, I think your mic is a little bit quiet. Could you maybe speak a bit closer into the mic, or turn the volume up if possible?
Is it better now?
Yeah, that's a bit better. That is a bit better. Evan, great to see you, my friend. I want to ask you a question, trading related, of course. My question to you is, did you have like a aha moment as a trader? Was there a moment where you, in your trading career, where something clicked and you had, aha, I kind of got this, you figured it out moment?
Yeah, I think it was. I'd say it was when I really started trading Hola Prime. And hello, can you hear me?
Sorry, Evan, I think we can't quite hear you. I don't know if it's just for me, but I think the
Can you hear me
chat
now?
also a little bit. Try again.
Hello, can you hear me?
Just about, yeah, just about.
Yeah, is it better now?
Yes.
Yeah. So when I really started trading with Hola Prime, and especially when I passed my 100K account, I was like, yeah, this is what I've been looking for. This is the kind of account I'm looking for to be able to get the payouts, the money. And also when I discovered a strategy that worked for me, the pairs that worked for me, and I just stick to them, and I was like, yeah, I carry it now. Because I've lost so many accounts and I've been, here and there, but at the time I knew, yeah, this is the right time. When I started getting payouts and I passed the 100K account. I don't know if you can hear me.
Thank you, Evan. I think, yes, thank you so much, Evan, for that. That was really awesome. Thank you, my friend. Up next, we're going to move on to the next trader. I believe Damien, or Daniel, sorry, Daniel. I'm really bad with names today. I do apologize if I'm butchering people's names. But it's all good. Daniel, how are you again? Thank you for coming on. Daniel, my question to you, do you think recognition like this at the Prime Circle will motivate you as a trader and other traders to stay disciplined?
150%, absolutely. This extremely builds that level of credibility. To piggyback off of some of the other traders, another prop firm just about this past week banned me, and right before I requested my payout. And then on the opposite contrary, Hola Prime, when I requested my last payout, I woke up, I saw I hit my profit target, I clicked request. Before I even got to finish brushing my teeth, I saw that it was already in my account. That was absolutely phenomenal. So I love that the reliability is here, and this level of a commitment to the traders all across the board is absolutely a new level of for the people who haven't been funded yet. It definitely gives them that thing to put on their vision board. But for us funded traders, it's definitely that level of satisfaction that we get to feel.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. And you know, I think that's sometimes what we need as traders as well. You know, it can be such a lonely profession because you're just sitting there by yourself most days, you know, in front of a computer, looking at charts, clicking buttons. And sometimes you kind of, when you have a goal to work towards, even if it's just recognition, I think it can really kind of make you feel quite good. I want to ask, what's your next trading goal? Because you've kind of hit the pinnacle of, I guess, prop trading, right? And at least with us, you have. What's your next trading goal?
Just to keep on going. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a lifestyle. I think the bread and butter is in the journey and not the destination. So I don't necessarily give myself a destination. But I guess if I had to give you an answer, it's just my family, my wife, my kids, and giving them the lifestyle that they deserve. My wife was just let go from her job due to downsizing, and she's going to give birth to her second child in a couple of
Oh, wow.
days now.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. So I want to be able to give them everything that, I had a good upbringing, not a bad upbringing, but I just want to give them the best upbringing. And I know that with the discipline as a trader, I can definitely provide that for them. And Obviously, I think for everyone else is to retire from their their 9-to-5 job. So in the next year or two, that would that's on that board for me.
Absolutely. And I think nothing motivates a man more than providing for his family. Definitely much bigger motivation than Lamborghinis.
There we go. Yeah.
So,
don't get me wrong. That's there too.
Absolutely. Once the family's provided for, get yourself a Lamborghini, Daniel. You definitely deserve it. But that was really awesome, man. And Daniel, thank you again for coming on. But up next, guys and girls on stream, again, do stick around for the end of the live stream, because like I said earlier, we do have something really exclusive that you definitely do not want to miss. I promise you it's going to be worth the wait. But up next, we have the CEO's address. Take it away.
I want to talk to the traders watching this, not the firm, not the industry, the traders. If you're funded with us right now, you already know what most people watching tonight don't. You know what it takes to get 1 payout. You know what it takes to get 2. You know the weeks between payouts where nothing in your account moves the way you wanted it to. You know what it costs, privately, to keep showing up for a screen that doesn't owe you anything back. We see that. Tonight is for that. I want to say something honest. Most prop firms in the industry talk about traders as if traders are a variable, as if the firm is a constant and the trader is something that is being tested. We've never thought about it that way. The trader is a constant. The trader is the one who shows up every morning, runs the same setups, takes the same risks, manages the same drawdowns, and keeps a journal nobody else reads. The firm is a variable. The firm is the thing that has to prove every single payout that it deserves to be on the other side of the trader's work. The traders who got past the first payout, past the second, past the moment when most prop firms quietly stop investing in you. The traders who held their discipline when nothing in the relationship gave them reason to keep believing. You did that on your own. Nobody clapped for the 3rd payout or the 4th one. The work between the payouts is invisible work. It's the thankless work. We know that. Prime Circle exists because that grind deserves to be recognized. To the trader who's funded with us tonight, on payout 1, on payout 2, on payout 3, you don't have to do anything new. Just keep doing what you are already doing. The firm will be here for the 5th payout and beyond. Your chances of a consistent income and a successful trading career will keep increasing as you keep trading with us. We win when you win. That's the only promise that matters in this industry. We are making it tonight. To the trader watching this who's never traded with us, I'm not going to ask you to. I'll just say this instead. The firm that you choose for your first payout matters less than the firm that's still out there for your 5th payout. Pick the one that's built for the 5th payout. And to the traders inside the circle, as of tonight, every payout you took with us was a vote of trust that we hadn't earned. So thank you. And welcome to the Prime Circle.
Did you hear me? All right, we're back. So sorry, guys, we did miss one trader accidentally. Hajir, can we get Hajir on the stream? Hajir, my friend, long time. I remember interviewing you. How have you been, my friend? Great to see you again.
Hello, Sam. Glad to see you again. How are you?
Great to see you. I'm really good. I'm really good. Thank you for joining and taking the time out your Saturday to be here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Man, I remember your first payout as well.
Yeah, I remember it too.
I remember your first payout, and now you're in the Prime Circle as well. How awesome is that? Hajir, question for you. I'm going to ask, what's your #1 tip for anyone watching right now for staying consistent and getting to that not just to the funded stage, but getting consistent payouts like you have done so they can join the Prime Circle too?
Sam, it's my 7 years been trading. It was for me somehow different from me. I believe there are two types of traders. Some of the traders are born with trading skills. Some of the traders are being cultivated and learn trading skills. So being a profitable trader and a professional trader was hard for me because I started by getting psychology, and I started to shift my old beliefs to new beliefs that we can make money. So that was my experience, my trading journey.
Amazing. And I completely agree with everything you're saying. One last question for you, Hajir. What do you think is more important? This might be a trick question as well. But what do you think is more important, strategy or psychology?
I can definitely say that if you have a 100% working strategy, which does not exist in real market conditions, you cannot make a penny with it without stable mentality. If you're consistently profitable, if you have like a series of payouts, it doesn't mean that you're consistently profitable. There are some milestones that maybe self-sabotage and belief put you down. Like I believe the most important thing is psychology. Then you got to have some specific edge on the market, and you have to learn to be disciplined and take control of your emotions. So I believe it's all about psychology, not having age.
Definitely. And I completely agree with that, Hajir. Again, thank you, my friend, for coming on. Thank you for taking the time to join us. It's always a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.
But up
Thanks
next,
for having me.
ladies and gentlemen, notice that all the traders are saying the same thing: discipline, psychology, being good in the head when it comes to trading is really the real edge. But up next, we're going to bring Kathy back on. Sorry, guys. I think Kath's going to come back on. Yes, Kathy, there you are.
Yes, what an incredible almost 2 hours, Sam. Not only have we heard from seasoned traders who've been, the top of their game, but also everyday people doing this behind the scenes and, now being truly rewarded for it. I think, there's so much that we've gotten out of today, and it's incredible. And I think your last question, is it psychology or strategy, is probably the best one that kind of summarizes everything and everyone's success with trading. So I think you have a big announcement, don't you?
I do indeed, Kathy. So for everyone who has been nice enough in the stream to stay for the full 2 hours, you guys are absolute legends, and you're going to be rewarded because we are giving away. We're going to have a code up on the screen any second now. We're giving away a massive discount on all challenges from 5K to 100K accounts. This is including direct accounts as well, CFDs and futures. We're giving away 50% off using the code CIRCLE50. But guys, it's only for the first 200 people. Okay, it's live for 24 hours. So if you want 50% off any challenge from 5K to 100K, that's CFDs and futures, go ahead, use the code CIRCLE50 in the next 24 hours for the first 200 people who get to grab this offer. So good luck, everybody. Grab yourself a really, really well-priced evaluation account or direct account if you wish. This is probably one of the best offers we have ran in a very long time. So I can see the chat. Look at that. Everyone's happy. There we go. Oh, look at everyone rush into it. Amazing. I hope you can all see the code. I'll say that one more time. That's circle 50. 50% off on all accounts, $5,000 to $100,000 accounts. That's CFDs and futures.
I mean, that's the biggest discount I have ever seen. And it's only good for 24 hours. Make sure you take advantage of this incredible deal because, you know, even if you're just trying for the first time, I think that this is really the firm, the place that you want to start. So that's the night. Thank you for being in the room. Every trader you saw on the wall tonight started exactly where most of you are watching from. And the only difference between you and them is the number of payouts between you. And that's it. So Sam, over to you.
Thank you again, Kathy. And guys, make sure you grab that offer because look, getting to the prime circle is possible. It's possible if you remain disciplined, if you're good with your trading and you try not to rush the process. And that 50% off right there is definitely a good way to start. So grab yourself an account, trade it strategically, be disciplined, and hopefully me and you can do a interview at some point when you get your first payout and then your second and your third and your fourth and then your fifth and you get that black card and you get welcomed into the prime circle. It'll be amazing to see you there. But everything we showed you tonight will be live on the Hola Prime channel. If you want to have a quick replay, the replay goes live within, I think goes up within 24 hours. But I've really got only one question left to leave you with and ask yourself, what payout are you on?
That's all for tonight, my friends. And there, I think Sam said only 200 accounts will be given this 50% off. So make sure you go out there and grab it. It was an absolute pleasure spending time with you, listening to all of these incredible traders. And I want to welcome all of you, hopefully one day, to Prime Circle.